Hello and welcome back to Lorehammer. I'm your host Mark, and today we got an episode on Astartes ranged war gear. Another one of these Astartes Armoury where we're going to dive in and take apart a couple weapons and see what makes them tick. Joining me today, we got Logan. How's your thoughts, yo?
Hello.
You can't miss them if you're watching
really
the video.
You really
But at
should.
the same time, like it's almost like over camouflage on top of all your scattered boxes. All the colors kind of blend.
Yeah, I like that this kind of matches the rainbow seekers that I have up here, so that I blend in with them. So maybe if I turn around and just hunch my head down, you won't notice I'm sitting here.
Yeah, you'll be safe from sniper fire.
Oh, 100%. 100%. They're going to be looking for guys in camo. You guys are dumb.
Idiots. We also got Lupercal joining us. Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, how you doing, dude? Yeah, I'm good. Just been doing some model stuff recently and thought we'd do some bottle learning.
Yeah, nice. You were showing me those paint pens that you kind of had in the models. I've heard lots of people using those paint pens and they look sweet, man.
It's kind of a lot easier to use in a way, but then you get to the point where you've got like tiny little crevices that you need to go back to the brush. But the paint flows enough in them that you can just like dip the end of the brush on the pen and like steal a little bit. So it kind of works.
Yeah,
Are they the ones that people use for Gundams?
I'm not too sure. The ones I'm using from the airbrush company that I use. Like they've done a full metallic set, including like a metallic black and stuff like that. So it's pretty nice. There's a few nice shades of bronze in there, which I'm going to be using on my Necrons later on, I think.
Nice. Yeah, it's sweet. All these different little paint techniques and pots and dips and washes and all that, man. What a different world. Love it.
Yeah, the progress on things is great.
Yeah. Well, today we got an Astartes Armoury episode. We're going to be talking about everything from the Astartes Scout shotgun to something more hefty like a lascannon and everything in between. We got some digital weapons in here, all types of fun little knickknacks to kill your enemies with. But before we dive into it, just some quick housekeeping. Come join the Discord. There's links in the description below. It's the best place to kind of keep track with what we're up to and find links to the show and join and whatever else. So come join the Discord. It's just called the Lorehammer Discord. Like I think you can search Discord. So if you search Lorehammer, you will find it too. So
yeah, I think it's actually just Lorehammer.
Yeah.
So join that. Fun. We hang out. We chat a lot in there. We also want you to join the Imperial Tithe on Patreon. You can get the ad-free version of the podcast for $2.50 a month. And if you want to see our beautiful faces, my pretty shirt, and Mark's gorgeous smile, pay $5 a month, and you can watch us whenever you want to.
And you can watch us whenever you want to. Any time of day, you can hack into my home's camera systems and check out what is old Markino up to. Only $5. Yeah, it's a great deal.
There's a secret hidden Patreon tier that gives you access to his webcams. It is weirdly worth it.
He's really nice to his cats.
And if you do join the Patreon, it will give you access to the live streams where you can watch the episodes as they commence. You can join the chat and have your input in what's going on in the show. And on the times that we do them, you can also join in at the end where we have guests in to talk to us about topics that they're interested in.
Yeah, always fun having the call-ins. If you have something to say, definitely say, hey, I want to be a call-in guest. Let me know, and it will make it a little easier, and I don't have to, like, try to stall while I'm waiting for somebody to come in. But, yeah, I love the call-ins. Definitely let me know and join the show, get involved. All right, let's dive into this episode. Yeah, today we're doing all types of ranged weapons, from pistols to special weapons, heavy weapons, rip-mounted weapons, vehicles. There's different patterns and marks, much like power armor, where you had different designs and stuff. Or, our bolter episode that we did, there was all types of different patterns and marks of the same pattern and all that. So we'll break some of that down. And then we'll get into different types of weapons, from ballistic weapons to missile launchers and rocket launchers, flamethrowers, melta guns, plasma, graviton. Gravitons are pretty cool. They were kind of introduced around, like, I don't know, 7th edition, maybe 6th. It's kind of...
I thought they weren't in 5th? I thought they were 5th.
maybe they were that far back, but I think they were probably close to the 6 when like all the flyers came out and that big rule change kind of happened. But we could be a little off by a year or two. But they're a cool little addition to the 40K Armoury. At first, I wasn't quite sure about them. Like, that seems pretty like high technology, these graviton guns. But then they kind of gave some examples of like land speeders use it already. I'm like, I know what a land speeder is. So okay, we got some graviton stuff.
They weaponized a tire.
Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty cool. We'll talk about laser technology like lascannons, some more exotic weapons, grenades, fire support, a couple different things like that. So yeah, it's going to be a fun episode. If you like guns, sci-fi guns specifically, we're in for a heck of a shootout. Yeah,
so I'll go ahead and get us started with ranged warfare in 40K. Ranged combat in the 41st millennia is a symphony of fire and destruction, where the laws of physics bend to the will of warriors and machine spirits alike. Battles are waged across ruined cities, void-spanning battlefields, and shattered worlds, where bolters, lasguns, and plasma guns tear through ceramite, stone, and bone with equal disregard. Each shot is measured in tactics and faith. The Astartes discipline transforms fire into an art form, while the Astra Militarum relies on disciplined volleys to crush enemies under a hail of ordnance. Such warfare, precision, timing, and positioning often determine survival as much as the power of the weapons themselves. Heavy fire support defines the backbone of range strategy, with mobile turrets, emplaced autocannons, and missile platforms dominating approaches and denying the ground to the enemy. Mobile system, I know if you saw me flinch, if you're watching online, there's a fly that it's like this tiny, and he keeps flying right in my face, and I know he's not showing up on camera because I could barely see him, but I'm not tweaking, I promise. There's a bug trying to kill me right now.
Kill you,
dude. There's been a bunch of them, and they only show up one at a time. I killed the first one that I found. I'm like, oh, thank God. And as soon as I opened my eyes, there was a second one. I was like, ah. So
damn, whip out that assault rifle, AR-15, get that thing going.
I'm not that American. Let's calm down. Calm down. It's a bug.
I didn't mean to offend. Don't come.
No, I'm being funny.
Don't kill me.
Don't kill me.
Don't shoot. I'm just joking.
You better be. No, I'm kidding. All right. Mobile systems like the Rapier gun tracks advance with assault, bringing concentrated fire to bear where it is needed most, while statistic emplacements such as the tarantula turrets act as sentinels of death, punishing anyone who dare enter their fields of fire. Even relatively light arms, grenades, melta, and bolters, combined in discipline coordination, create layered fire, softening targets before heavier weapons obliterate them, ensuring that no enemy advance goes unchallenged. Exotic and specialized arms augment this destructive tapestry, introducing effects beyond simple killing power. Conversion beams, Webers, stasis guns, and digital weapons manipulate matter, energy, and even motion to control the battlefield, trap foes, or disable vital machinery. In the 41st millennia, range combat is as much about the mastery over the tools of war as it is about raw force. Every projectile, every beam, every explosion is an extension of the warrior's will, a measured application of violence tempered by doctrine, devotion, and unyielding drive to impose the emperor's judgment. That's cool.
Yeah, range 40K would be crazy. Like, just imagine fighting Imperial Guard and there's just a billion of them shooting infinite laser walls at you.
That's always crazy to think about, because with how many guardsmen there's supposed to be in a regiment, because we never really get to see it in a lot of shows and stuff, but just volley on volley of just red streaking across. I wonder, do they ever mention, because I haven't read any of the guard books, but do they ever mention like the last fire lights up the sky or make like is as bright as the day? Has that ever been mentioned before?
I'm sure, but that's like a cool visual.
Yeah,
I think I do remember some sort of reference to that in one of the. It wasn't in one of the guard specific books, but it was in one of the books where it gives you a guard regiment perspective halfway through. And it was
the sky red from the warp portals or from the lasgun fire. It's always hard to tell.
Yeah, it's always one of the two, right?
That's always one of them.
So
Big crazy. It's potentially just a blanket of laser bolts if they're arcing them enough, and it's just like everything's red underneath it, and every now and then you see a slip of the sky through it.
Wait, did you just think you can arc light? Is that what just came out of your mouth there?
I did, because that's how bullets work. So I'm applying bullet physics to the lasers.
I'm applying bullet physics to lights, okay?
Yeah. I mean, technically gravity does affect light, just not to the extent that it does everything else.
Well, aren't I just a dumb science bitch?
Yeah,
then?
you are. Maybe the gravity is so intense that what I'm describing is entirely possible.
Yeah. And I guess you factor in warp portals, fuck, it's all types of chaos now.
Yeah, see? You're a podcast host. You should know this stuff.
I should know this stuff. Fuck.
Embarrassing.
Yeah. 40k combat would be crazy with ranged weapons. Like, you could be hiding behind the thickest wall, and then all of a sudden somebody shoots your house with a star cannon, and it's just like the power of the sun, and just melts your whole home. Like, there's a lot of weapons in 40k that just like really can fuck you around, shoot you into another dimension, or just all types of stuff. Now, the Astartes Armoury isn't as wild as that, but they got a couple ones. They're more like brute force, like brutalized. Yeah, everything just seems like to make a mess.
Like the round that's full of promethium that literally sets people on fire from the inside.
Yeah, exactly. Like everything is like meant to send a message. Like, that guy is fucking dead. We got him, boys.
We got him.
Got him. So let's talk about ranged weapons. The ranged weapons of the Astartes Armoury form a vast and adaptable arsenal, loosely divided into functional categories rather than rigid doctrine. Pistols serve as close quarters sidearms, weapons of last resort or sudden execution, while special weapons bridge flexibility and lethality, bringing focused firepower such as plasma, melta, and grav arms to bear, where resistance hardens. Heavy weapons embody battlefield dominance, delivering sustained or overwhelming fire, capable of breaking armor, fortifications, and masked foes alike. Wrist-mounted systems, including digital weapons and integrated launchers, reflect the Astartes' preference for constant readiness, allowing death to be delivered without surrendering grip or momentum. Finally, weapon-mounted weapons extend the philosophy to engines of war, where the firepower of the shatter is magnified through tanks, walkers, and aircraft, ensuring the Emperor's wrath is brought to bear at every range and scale of battle.
Yeah, I was checking out the effective range of some of these weapons. We'll go into them. I don't want to give the exact number, but the plasma pistol, I think it had crazy range. It was like, fuck, I almost want to scroll down and get it. But yeah, they got a weapon to deal with everything, whether you're close up or far away, whether you have heavy armor or light armor, whether you need to kill 1,000 guys or just one. There's a weapon.
I kind of had to laugh when I was looking up the lasguns and stuff like that the other day, because one of the not recommended ways to recharge them is throw the battery in a fire. It's like something like it has like a 40% chance of exploding, but it does work. Like
it's worth it. You're probably gonna die tomorrow anyways. Might as well have ammo while you do it, you know?
That's like the people who would wrap their Xboxes in a towel and put it in the oven to fix the red ring of death, to resolder the stuff in it. It's the same kind of effect. It might ruin your Xbox, or it might work. I don't know.
I don't know. Worth a shot. It's already fucked.
Exactly.
All right, pistols. Pistols are the Space Marines' trusted sidearm, compact yet deadly, carried for moments when speed and precision outweigh the brute force of larger weapons. Bolters, bolt pistols, plasma pistols allow the Astartes to strike swiftly at range, often delivering a lethal verdict before the enemy can react. Though limited in range, these weapons are carefully maintained relics of warfare, capable of tearing through flesh, ceramite, and light armor with a single disciplined shot. They exemplify the martial ethos of the Astartes, always ready, precise, and devastating, even when wielded in the heart of melee. Pistols, you know them, you love them. Special weapons. These are kind of more like your rifle-sized variants. Special weapons bridge the gap between standard firepower and devastating extremes of the Astartes episode or arsenal. Plasma guns, melters, flamers, and graviton arms fall into this category, designed to punch through heavy armor, fortifications, and dense enemy formations. While often slower to fire or requiring careful handling, they bring focused devastation where it's most needed, turning critical points of the battlefield into death zones. These arms demand both skill and caution, as their power can be dangerous to the user as it is to the foe, reflecting the delicate balance between control and destruction that defines Space Marine warfare.
Yeah. We also have heavy weapons, which are weapons that are the hammers of the Astartes, bringing sustained firepower to break fortifications, armor, and massed infantry alike. Lascannons, the goat heavy bolters, missile launchers, and autocannons dominate the battlefield, laying down torrents of destruction to hold objects or obliterate approaching enemies. These systems are often deployed in fire bases, in place turrets, or vehicle mounts, and require both strength and precision to operate. A single heavy weapon, expertly positioned, can turn the tide of battle. So true. Enforcing the Emperor's will with calculated and unrelenting violence. The bug is back. We've also got wrist-mounted weapons, a uniquely Astartes innovation, integrating deadly firepower directly into a warrior's armor. From storm bolters and digital weapons to small flamers or grenade launchers, these systems allow continuous engagement without sacrificing mobility or melee readiness. They exemplify the Space Marines' doctrine of constant vigilance, ensuring that even in close quarters or while maneuvering through enemy lines, the warrior's offensive capability never ceases. Wrist-mounted systems are extensions of the Marine's body and will, delivering precise death and seamless efficiency. We're talking about ranged weapons, but technically the chain fist has a wrist-mounted weapon, which is the chain on the fist.
Yeah.
Another way to mount these weapons is on a vehicle. They elevate the Astartes arsenal to colossal scale, turning tanks, walkers, and flyers into mobile engines of annihilation. Battle cannons, twin-linked heavy bolters, also the GOAT, lascannons, and multi-missile racks magnify the chapter's firepower, allowing devastation over vast distances or against hardened fortifications. These weapons combine mobility, protection, and destructive potential, enabling the Astartes to impose their will across the entire battlefield. Vehicles become both shields and hammers, projecting the Emperor's wrath far beyond what a single warrior could achieve, and shaping the tide of war through sheer mechanical supremacy.
Fuck yeah.
As one does and should.
Yeah. In this episode, we don't dive into too many vehicle weapons. Like, yeah, if we were talking about lascannon, you can slap it on a vehicle as well. But there's a lot of like vehicle-specific weapons that we won't be getting into in this one. But yeah, the kind of categories are pistols, special weapons, heavy, wrist-mounted. Nowadays with Primaris models, you get all these cool like backpack mounted turrets.
A lot of the characters have those.
Yeah. That's a cool new like variation or adaptation now that's happened.
I think it's mostly the Tech Marines and the Imperial Fists that get those.
Yeah, the Primaris Tech Marine has weapon mounted guns and the arm for fixing tanks and stuff as well.
Yeah.
And it's due to be released in the Space Marine game. Yes. I think it's at the end of this month.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
I think 24th or 27th, I think.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I think the Iron Father model has that. I think he has a heavy bolter. And then I don't know his name, but there's a named Imperial Fist character that has a graviton cannon on his shoulder. And I think that's it.
Yeah, Tor Garadon. I just pulled him up. Yeah.
So you knew his name. You are a good.
Yeah, that's a cool new variation. You should see how I spelt it though. When I tried to Google search it, I just got lucky.
Yeah, we can see.
It looks like you're just missing an R.
Not the best, but No, his name is
and a
Tor
space.
Garadon. I called him Garadon.
Tarragon.
Oh, you made it one word.
Yeah, a little retardation.
Love
Yeah,
that.
so there's those ones, and then we'll get into the different marks and patterns, because you can have a plasma pistol, but then there's all these different, like the soul pattern or the Helios pattern and all these different ones. So a little summary.
Patterns and marks. Across the Imperium, weapon patterns are not singular designs but broad doctrinal families, each encompassing generations of marks shaped by forge world dogma, battlefield necessity, and the slow decay of standard template law. A pattern such as the Mark 8 Ragefire plasma cannon defines the widely disassembled Astartes plasma cannon configuration of the 41st millennium. Yet even with its supposedly standard form exist numerous sanctioned marks, some distinguished only by revised heat baffling or altered machine spirit housing, others rebuilt so extensively that two examples may share little visual similarity beyond their core plasma confinement rights. Likewise, ancient patterns such as the Sol Militaris Hellfire plasma cannon, born of Terran duplex magma core design and fielded during the Great Crusade, spawned divergent marks as Legion armorers adapted the weapon for different theaters, targets, and rights of maintenance. In some cases, these changes were incremental and conservative. In others, they produced radically distinct silhouettes, feed assemblies, or cooling arrays, resulting in weapons that are doctrinally identical yet outwardly alien to one another.
Yeah, up here on this screen, I got different, like, these are Elysian drop troopers. So not Astartes weapons, but it just shows there's all types of different marks. And this one's pretty cool. I like how it has, like, the handle on top. So when they're jumping down, they kind of have a handle on the top of the gun to hold.
Carry handles are always goat.
Yeah, it looks tight. But yeah, there's just different marks for everything. Like Astartes definitely will have, like, preferred ones where they get access to more often and stuff. Doesn't seem like it's as, like, tied to Forge Worlds necessarily. It might just be like what they have. I don't know. It's different marks, fun. So we're going to start off with the ballistic weapon class. Ballistic firearms in the 31st millennium are brutal expressions of ancient chemistry and relentless industrial weapons that rely on the controlled detonations to hurl solid shot at killing speeds through flesh, ceramite, and plasteel alike. Within the Imperium, they are valued for their mechanical honesty. Propellant ignites, mass accelerates, the target dies. Autoloaders, gyro stabilizers, and rugged machine spirits govern their function, ensuring reliability amid mud, vacuum, radiation, and prayer-choked battlefields. Though eclipsed in spectacle by plasma and melta arms, ballistic weapons endure because they are predictable, lethal, and manufacturable on a million worlds. Tools of war that embody the Imperium itself, unrefined, uncompromising, and eternally at war. Yeah, you know them, you love them. We have them in real life, ballistic weapons. If you want to know how to make an assault cannon with ballistic technology, let me tell you. The assault cannon is a 6-barreled self-loading instrument of war, a brutal expression of ballistic fury, deployed on select vehicles and by elite infantry to enforce the Emperor's will. Forged to unleash torrents of ammunition with terrifying speed, it rends massed infantry and light vehicles alike. Yet it bulk demands stable platforms, hulls, dreadnought chassis, or Terminator-borne arms to bear its weight and recoil without faltering. Few units possess the strength to wield such a weapon, for the assault cannon's mass, ammunition consumption, and savage recoil far exceeds the ordinary heavy weapons. Among the chapter's ranks, dreadnoughts and land speeder tornadoes carry the guns with lethal precision, while the Land Raider Crusader mounts twin-linked barrels atop its hull. The Blood Angel's Ball Predator employs the twin-linked assault cannon turret, and the rare Sentinel patterns were once armed thus, though the weapon is now almost exclusively in the domain of Space Marines. Terminators, their strength and armor compensating for the cannon's heft, wield elongated patterns for a single arm, advancing and firing without pause. Let me just pull up a picture of one of these bad boys.
Yeah, that also answers why the Terminators are the only ones that have them, because I've always wondered why there aren't heavy Devastators that carry those.
Yeah, it's just so much recoil on one of these things, and ammunition consumption. Like you just would have to carry around so much.
Well, you've got magical bullets in this universe where you fit 30 into something that could fit maybe 7. So
people were talking about how that bolter magazine stack, they stagger them so then you can get double the magazine.
There's still no way. There's still
without triple stack them.
The bolt is the same thickness as the magazine. No amount of zigzagging or double stacking is going to solve that problem.
Listen, the ammunition has a little warp portal in the top of it, so it's actually drawing bullets from the manufactorum into the magazine, into the gun.
That would make more sense than the magazine itself, then.
I like my solution still, where a single shell, because it's also caseless, even though there are shells, single shell holds 4 bolts in it, and that's how you make it all work.
Yeah, interesting. And then you only eject that casing out the side once every 4 shots.
Yep, that's my headcanon.
All right. It's headcanon. We'll say yes, it is in fact headcanon. But back to the assault cannon. Though lacking the range of heavy bolters or autocannons, the assault cannons compensate with an insatiable rate of fire, shredding foes in the thousands of rounds per minute. Its savagery is the greatest at medium and close range, reducing armored infantry and moderately armored vehicles to shredded ruin. The weapon epitomizes elite assault doctrine. Terminator squads teleport into the heart of the enemy, opening fire to sow terror and devastation. Early patterns were temperamental, prone to catastrophic jamming, and could slay the wielder. Yet modern designs honed by the Adeptus Mechanicus are more reliable, reflecting centuries of refinement in the service of death. Even Marauder destroyers bear these weapons, renaming fury from the skies with mechanical precision and industrial relentlessness. Yeah, very cool. What a fun gun.
It's such a fun gun.
It's one of those things that, like, you see it, you recognize it, you always know what it's going to be. It's one of those, like, just iconic guns for sure.
It's going to be a problem because it's pointed at me.
Looks great.
Really convenient. It's really convenient. I've been painting these recently.
Nice. Yeah, I like when they do like the little barrel glow at the end of it. It's pretty easy technique to do, but these things just get nice and hot. Like this guy does barrel glow. Yeah,
I was gonna say I saw one that painted it like that. Although the only thing I don't like, why isn't the tip also glowing?
Yeah, I was thinking that too, but it's the Space Wolves. They have a cold fury that contains it. Come on.
I always like to do change the color of the end of the barrel in a blended color, so it looks like it's like received burn damage from it heating up.
Yeah, that's a cool effect. Never mind. About to get crazy. All right, autocannons. Autocannons are relentless engines of destruction, bearing the same conceptual lineage as the siege guns of old Terra, yet elevated to the apocalyptic scale of the 41st millennia. They hurl a variety of munitions, mass-reactive explosives, solid slugs, and advanced armor-piercing sabot rounds, each a precise instrument of annihilation, forged to cleave ceramite, plasteel, and bone alike. Calibers span from 25 to 50, 55, reaching all the way up to 150 millimeters. Their weight and size demanding the cartridge on their weight and size demanding carriage on vehicles, emplacements, or specialized weapon platforms. These monstrous barrels combine devastating penetration with sustained fire, making them perfect for clearing swarms of infantry, neutralizing lightly armored target vehicles, and punishing the monstrous forms of Tyranid or Orc machinery. Even heavily armored foes, such as Space Marines, are threatened, though power armor can sometimes deflect lesser rounds, forcing operators to aim with a methodical precision. Autocannons occupy the space between heavy bolters and assault cannons, trading rate of fire for range and destructive force. Once they're discharged, explosive penetrating bolts akin to the bolter. Once they discharge their explosive penetrating bolts akin to the bolter, but the technology has since been lost to the Imperium's labyrinth of decay. Now they rely on solid slugs of formidable caliber wielded by Imperial Guard heavy weapon teams or Astartes vehicle mounts, delivering controlled industrial lethality with every measured salvo, embodying cold, disciplined efficiency of the Emperor's judgment upon the battlefield. There is an extra variation called the Reaper autocannon. The Reaper autocannon is a vulnerable double-barreled engine of destruction. Its shorter range tempered by an unrelenting hail of rounds, once wielded with deadly precision by Space Marine Terminators before the Horus Heresy. It served as a sacred instrument of battlefield domination. In Loyalist chapters, it has long been supplemented by the assault cannon, yet endures in the hands of Chaos Terminators and mounted upon Defilers, where the brutal volume of fire rends light armor, shatters heavy armor foes alike. This archaic weapon remains a testament to raw industrial lethality, capable of laying down discipline, merciless punishment across the battlefield. So, yeah, and Lupercal is holding one up. So if you come watch us on the video, you can see a very well-painted model with this weapon.
Like that. Yeah, the autocannon, the Reaper autocannon, tight.
And to match with it,
there we go. A Reaper. No, we just said that. Assault cannon. There we go. Yeah. I'm pretty. Those are sick. I don't think it's going to come up because I don't think it has a special name. But the Stalker, you remember the Stalker before it went to Legends? It was the anti-aircraft Space Marine tank.
Yeah.
Back the edition before it went to Legends, I got one and I wanted to run 3 of them, but I couldn't find 2 more. Because those guns, everyone's like, oh, it's just an anti-tank weapon, it's just anti-aircraft, don't get it, it's not worth it. Those were assault cannons on top of it.
Oh shit, that's a lot of shots. That's like fucking 24.
So everyone was like, oh, it's for anti-air, don't bother. I'm like, why? It shreds infantry, and I was in a very horde heavy meta, so I was like,
I'd roll 2 of those.
Yeah,
they were so cool.
I'd happily roll 2 of those any day of the week. They look sick.
I wanted 3. I brought one to a 500-point tournament. Everybody was like, what is that for? And I'm like, fun. Like, look at it. It's sick.
I just saw one with the plow on the front as well.
Yeah. the plow from the Vindicator on the front of it.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
The autocannon's model. Yeah, the autocannon's cool because you get it on infantry, but then you also get it on tanks, and then you stack them up sometimes. Like this one's the 3-barrel autocannon. Sometimes it's like the 2-barrel Reaper. Like autocannon technology is very versatile.
Oh, 100%.
Like they're even talking about different shell sizes and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of just upscale that thing really to whatever you can mount it on.
Everything. It goes on everything.
I don't think there'd be like anything you couldn't use that for in a war realistically. Like a heavy forested war, fuck it, let's just turn those double auto cannons round and blast away the trees.
They'll be gone.
Yeah, cool tank. All right. Well, we did an episode on the Holy Bolter, but we'll give it a brief little mention here. The Holy Bolter episode, I think, was 223, so only a couple episodes ago. 223. So go check that out if you want to hear us talk about bolters for 2 hours, from everything from like special bolt shells to how they operate, all that kind of fun stuff, to ammunition capacity. What the fuck? But yeah.
That's how you trigger me.
Yeah,
I say female custodies to bother you, and you go magazine to bother me.
Yeah, just mention the magazines, and that sets me off. The bolter, or the bottle gun, is a sacred engine of destruction, embodying the Emperor's wrath in the hands of the Adeptus Astartes. It fires 75 caliber explosive bolt, each a self-propelled warhead engineered to tear through flesh, ceramite, and light armor with disciplined lethality. Though most closely associated with Space Marines, bolters are employed across Imperial forces, while traitor legions still bear ancient patterns recalling their pre-heresy issue. Functioning as a mid-range instrument of anti-personnel annihilation, the bolter bridges the gap between the bolt pistol and the heavy bolter. Astartes wield standard patterns with ease, while scaled variants serve mortal warriors. Each weapon is forged and maintained with ritual devotion bound to its wielder through rite and machine spirit. In Astartes' hands, the bolter is not merely a firearm, but a mechanized sermon of war, cold, precise, and utterly unforgiving.
Yeah, you know it, you love it, you point it. You never point this gun at something you love, though. It's gonna explode into a billion pieces. Like, yeah, it was made to terrify, essentially.
I did a little digging into different regiments and stuff with the bolter after listening to the bolter episode, and it seems like the Sisters of Battles are pretty much equal to the Space Marines bolters, pure and simply because they hold technology to take the weight of the gun off of them.
Oh, really?
Like they're slightly bigger than you'd see with like some Imperial Guard because they've got anti-grav stabilizers in them to take the weight and to balance out the recoil, so they act as if it's just like a lasgun.
Cool. Yeah, that's crazy. That's quite the technology to put into just a bolter, but
A holy bolter.
a holy, yeah, okay.
Yes, they are holy bolters.
Cool. We have shotguns next. The shotgun is a simple yet brutal projectile weapon, firing either a solid slug or a scattering of spherical shots with devastating effect. At close range, patterns range from single shot and pump action to drum-fed magazines, each constructed for reliability and ease of manufacture, making them accessible even to low-tech forges across the Imperium. Favored in confined spaces such as the urban ships or urban ruins or ship corridors, they deliver immediate stopping power, capable of tearing through unarmored targets and disrupting enemy formations. Specialized shells, such as the gas rounds, add versatility, releasing lethal vapors to purge foes while leaving minimal residue. Space Marine scouts employ enhanced variations, trading long-range penetration for mobility and rapid deployment, allowing these weapons to complement bolters in assaults where speed, aggression, and shock effect dictate the flow of battle. Yeah, the Astartes shotgun is pretty cool. I do like that they have different bolts for it as well, or shells. They have a bunch of different types.
I don't know. I'm looking it up now, but does it work kind of like how the Tau Fire Warrior gun works, where if you get closer, it hits harder?
No, not in tabletop. That would be sweet. I love those creature squads, those fusion blasters or pulse blasters. Are sweet, man.
It's just 2 shots with assault.
Yeah, it's not very good on tabletop unless you're playing like a Death Watch faction back in the day or so. I don't know what the rules are nowadays, but yeah, the Death Watch at least gets access to some of the special shells and makes it a little more worthwhile.
Interesting. All right. Next up, we're going to talk about sniper rifles, and I thank you for honoring my chapter by giving this to me. Sniper rifles are a precision instrument of death built for extreme range and surgical accuracy, capable of eliminating key targets and shaping entire battlefields through controlled minimal force. A single sniper or a small team can deny ground, pin enemy movements, and deliver fatal shots from concealment. Each round a calculated expression of intent employed by both Imperial and Xenos forces. Within the Adeptus Astartes, specialized patterns are issued primarily to scout formations, refined for superhuman marksmanship. These rifles range from toxin-firing designs akin to needle weapons to advanced long-ranged arms fitted with sophisticated optics, enabling lethal exploitation of enemy weakness at distance beyond mortal capability. In every variant, the sniper rifle reflects the cold discipline and methodical lethality of Astartes ranged warfare. And if you ever want to know how strong they used to be, go ask my hobby store how many of them I used to run during 8th and 9th edition.
They're nasty, eh?
Oh, they were disgusting because they were able to back then ignore Lookout Sir, which was huge. They hit on 2s. They got bonuses for hitting characters, and then I think one of the weapons, it was either D3 damage, or if you hit it, it was mortal wounds on top of D3 damage. So if you just bombarded one character, you cooked them.
Cool. This is typically a laser weapon. Looks like for like old school Space Marine scouts, like those new Primaris guys that you were rocking, they have either like the las fusel.
Yeah, las fusel. Yeah, that's the one that's kind of like a miniature lascannon.
Yeah, with the old Space Marine scouts and even this guy look like it's just a kind of more like a sniper las gun. You can see the ammo pack. No, it definitely is not, man. You can tell by this ammo pack he's got rocking in there. And like the old Space Marine scouts too, they always have this ammo feed, or not ammo feed.
Laser, yeah, I stand corrected.
Power coil. But yeah, the new ones are definitely bolt fed. They have like the little ejection chamber and all that kind of stuff.
I've got to say I much prefer the bolt action sniper rifle they have now. It does go through it does go through a very similar motion to a traditional bolt action sniper rifle when they're reloading it, sort of thing. Like when they change the magazine, it like the motion of the gun does feel very much like that, what you'd expect. Or it does, at least in the Space Marine 2 game anyway.
Yeah, very cool. I like it. Yeah, so that's kind of the different ballistic weapons that Space Marines primarily use. There were a couple other ones, but they were like either chapter specific or like very Death Watchy.
Mm. Do we go on to missiles and rocket launchers?
Yes, sir. I didn't know that there was a difference between the two, so this was kind of fun to know. Like, obviously, I'm sure there was one, but I didn't really associate it. You know?
Yeah. A missile launcher is a consecrated delivery system that unleashes self-propelled guided warheads, each bearing explosive, chemical, or otherwise ruinous payload sanctified for battle execution. Propulsion is typically achieved through chemical rockets or jet drives, though rarer patterns employ more arcane means such as anti-gravitic thrust to carry the Emperor's judgment to its mark. A rocket launcher discharges unguided self-propelled munitions of comparable destructive yield. These projectiles most commonly rely upon a violent exothermic reaction for propulsion, though alternative methods are not unknown. The standard lock pattern Imperial missile launcher incorporates an integrated targeting spirit and is based upon the shoulder, firing a single round per engagement and demanding a stationary firing stance. Astra Miltown doctrine assigns one trooper to aim and fire while another bears and loads the ammunition. A disciplined team may sustain a punishing tempo sufficient to break armoured assaults. Among the guard, these weapons are crew served yet, and Astartes possesses the strength and discipline to wield and reload such launchers alone, advancing the attack without pause.
Yeah, very cool. The Astartes have one little backpack mount where it's like has ammo, a bunch of rockets on the backpack, and then it has a little servo arm that can like just fucking fire rockets into the back of their missile launcher.
I think I've recently done a model that's very similar to that, so yeah. The Cyclone missile launcher is a sacred instrument of Terminator warfare. A twin links missile system designed to extend the Astartes' dominion over the battlefield. It carries crack and frag missiles within 2 cube-shaped launchers, integrated with advanced targeting sensors and linked directly to the Terminator's gauntlet, permitting simultaneous fire with a storm bolter and a power fist while advancing through the enemy ranks.
That's a great version. God.
As the Emperor intended.
Land speeder cyclone missile launchers on the fucking primary screens.
Early variants required the sensor array to be hand-carried, increasing accuracy at the cost of sacrificing close combat capability, a compromise reflecting the industrial discipline and measured calculation of the Adeptus Astartes. The Cyclone's lineage stretches back to the Great Crusade, its forebears mounted upon javelin attack speeders, anti-grav relics of war that deliver the Emperor's wrath from above. In its modern form, it fuses lethality, mobility, and technological mastery, embodying the relentless cold precision of the Terminator's firepower.
Yeah, very cool. These things are always fun. Little versatility with them, with the frag and the crack that you can shoot. That's always good.
I've never owned a Cyclone missile launcher model.
You're
I don't know why. I've got a couple batches of Terminators, never had the missile launcher.
It just makes them look so beefy and menacing.
It's so cool. Bro's aura farming just with his extra shoulder stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It's at that point where you expect the guardsman to like go to argue with them and him just like turn the Cyclone launchers down and be like, yes, what do you want?
It would be sick if it worked the same way an Apache's turret works, because it's connected to the pilot's helmet. So if he turns, the turret turns. If the thing is connected to his helmet, so he looks down and the missiles just go down with him. He's just doing this, and the turret just goes wherever he looks. That
requires years of training to master that and to not blow yourself up.
Yeah.
Damien asks, want to explain what two death watching means? Two OP, two different, two one-off. Yeah, OPED.
No, we can't talk about two OPED. It's OPED.
That's so funny. OP, two OP.
Two opt. He's got ops.
He's got ops. I just didn't say like chapter specific because Death Watcher is a combination of all the chapters, or at least most of them. So they also get their own war gear on top of chapter specific stuff. It's just a weird clarification, but two Death Watcher, just like, yeah. It's its own chapter, essentially. It's its own thing, but it's a combination of all of them. So let's jump into the Havoc launcher. Havoc launchers are ancestral engines of devastation, forerunners to both the Cyclone missile launcher of Terminators and the colossal Havoc missile racks of Baneblade class Chaos Titans. Their immense bulk rendered them immobile by hand, confining their use to vehicles and massive war engines, a testament to the industrial scale and lethality. Go pull up a picture always. Go to make sure you can see the Havoc. With the Traitor Legion's flight into the Eye of Terror, these weapons remained fixed to dreadnoughts and void-forged vehicles. Their technology outpaced the Imperial advancements that produced the Cyclone. Unlike the precise hunter-killer missile of Loyalist forces, the Havoc missile launcher delivers volleys of frag missiles, a relentless torrent of high-explosive ordnance designed to rend infantry and light vehicles alike. Even in isolation, these relics of war embody a brutal, disciplined fury of the Adeptus Astartes, ancient art of destruction, striking with unerring force and industrial precision, and cold declaration of power upon any battlefield they dominate. Despite what they say, you can slap one of these bad boys onto Chaos Terminators and create like a Chaos Cyclone missile launcher, and I think it looks pretty fucking tight. Maybe back in the day, you couldn't quite do that because the Terminators were just slightly smaller and it might look off, but the new Terminators are the right scale for it.
I think I've only ever killed one model with a Havoc launcher in my entire career.
Yeah, they're not great.
And I've just realized as we go through this episode, we're just going to keep mentioning like weapons that I've recently put on Chaos Terminators and Havocs.
all of them.
Like as we like that. Wait, that one rings a bell. Oh yeah.
So that's what that did. The next one we got is just your standard missile launcher. And we got a cool pattern called the Sound Strike pattern missile launcher. And it represents a refinement of this technology, an evolution of the standard single tube system deployed by Space Marines. Fitted with specialized missile rack and auto-loading mechanism, mounted to the backpack power unit, it allows uninterrupted fire, each missile rapidly chambered by the mechanical claw as the warriors advance through enemy lines. Always go to add 40K. Got to remember to add 40K. Yeah, there's what we're talking about with missiles on the back. It's a much cleaner look than the new missile launcher Primaris guys, those Desolation Marines, or whatever the fuck they're called.
Those are stupid.
Yeah, they're quite the look.
They look stupid, and they gave them stupid rules that made them broken, so everybody ran them for like 3 months.
Yeah, don't you love that? Every time there's a shitty model, they almost force you to buy it just for the rules. And you're like, if I want to play the game, I need at least 4 of these units. Otherwise, I'm going to get stomped every time.
It's so bad.
It's not great. Makes me sad for sure.
Like, and you know, I'm the closest you're going to get to a Primaris apologist, but it's just I've got nothing. It just looks so unbelievably bad.
Oh my god, the chain belt, fuck. Yeah.
And you never hear about them anymore because they're out of vogue.
Yeah. Well, let's get them off my computer screen back to the missile launcher. In this configuration, the Space Marine becomes a walking arsenal capable of sustaining precise bombardment without pause, projecting controlled annihilation while retaining the freedom to wield other weapons simultaneously. The Sound Strike exemplifies the marriage of technological mastery, disciplined firepower, and the cold operational efficiency that defines Astartes range warfare. Yeah, very cool. It's kind of like, kind of fucking reminds me of, what's the Avenger with the bow? Fuck me. Hawkeye, maybe? Yeah, where he has his arrows on his backpack and he like presses the button, like a specific arrow pops out. Like this backpack on the on their back has this kind of same feature where it's just selecting these missiles for you, loading your tube for you.
I'm just picturing like a mortar, because that's kind of we don't really have rocket launchers that work that way. But a mortar, you go chunk, chunk, chunk. Now I'm terrified picturing a mechanical arm loading a missile. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Like that's ridiculous. How many missiles does a backpack hold? Is it 30? Can you fit 30 missiles in the backpack?
We could count it actually. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'll count the model.
Yeah, you count the model. So it's molded with 4.
6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So it's modeled with 7, which means there's 38.
23.
That's how Space Marine math works.
I like it. Hey man, they're here to kill, not count fucking shells, I guess.
True.
And I will admittedly say that the one good thing about the model with the habit launcher on is that the instructions actually do say you need the arm for this one. It's like I can imagine someone not putting it on and be like, so how the fuck are you going to load it?
Yeah, excuse me, T.O. He didn't model it right. I don't think he can play with that rule.
He's only got 4 shots because that's all the barrel holds.
Do you like this variation better, where it's like they have a missile magazine that you slot into the top of it and just feeds missiles into it?
Emotionally,
that's actually how it is on the models. So it's got the backpack and the arm is in theory it loads it into the top.
Okay, that makes me feel better, because if it's just dropping it into a rack, whatever, that's feeding him down, that makes more sense, because I'm like, how is it precisely putting him in that fast? Oh no, it's just dropping him in. Okay, I see it. I'm picking up what we're putting down.
I thought they loaded it from like the back, like this style. You load it from the back, but maybe not.
Yeah, I think that would be more the single use ones that were mentioned earlier on in the missile launcher overview.
That also looks like the one that the scouts have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Missiles for days.
Let's talk about the Salamander's favorite weapon, the Flamen Waffen. All right. Flamers are sanctioned or sanctified incinerator weapons, unleashing a consecrated torrent of burning promethium across a broad killing ground, reducing clusters of foes to ash within a single roaring exhalation of fire. In tabletop warfare, they are depicted through teardrop pattern markers denoting the weapon's orientated area of effect, striking all targets consumed by the blaze without need of aim or chance. As with their ancient forbearance, their reach is limited, trading range for absolute methodical destruction. So the newer versions of the flamers, they just automatically hit, but you roll 2 dice to see how many things you hit, and some flamers give you stuff on top of that. There was one that I got hit. It was like it had blast, and it was 6 plus 2d6 with blast. So it just ruined me. All right. So the type of flamers, we've got the hand flamer. Hand flamers are the sacred instruments of fire, compact reliquaries of the Emperor's wrath, called burners by those who wield them in devotion. These one-handed conduits of flame carry a meager fuel reserve and deliver their purifying judgment over but a short distance. They are instruments of close war entrusted to assault squads to cleanse the battlefield of sudden blistering fury. Then you have your standard flamer, cast forth the torrents of superheated promethium, a sacred and corrosive. I can't talk.
Yeah, we've all been having mumbly issues today.
I know it's a mumbly kind of day. Coercive fire. There it is. Coercive fire. I couldn't figure out because I'm also dyslexic. I think I mentioned that before, but my brain couldn't find the right way to say coercive. I couldn't get there.
I just got the retarded excuse, not dyslexic, just retarded.
So there's Mark with his, and then there's those 2 dyslexics here. So this has gone quite well, I think, actually.
Yeah, so this is the first time that I'm stopping because I can't read instead of being attacked by a bug. So I think that's pretty good. I haven't seen him in a while either, so I'm nervous. All right. Coercive fire that erupts, leaving the nozzle. Revered as instruments of mass purification, they annihilate all under their sweep, indifferent to cover or armor. Both standard and hand variants are classified as assault ordnance. They're short range, demanding proximity to the foe. The chemical, ignited at the muzzle, clings to its quarry, burning with unyielding ferocity until death is complete. These weapons are deployed where the enemy lurks unseen, through jungles choked with foliage in the labyrinth of urban ruins, and against fortified emplacements. Flamers render concealment futile, their infernal output a precise and merciless tool of tactical extermination. And then we have the heavy flamer. The heavy flamer is a titanic conduit of purifying fire, larger and more relentless than its handheld kin. Its inferno consumes multiple targets in a single stroke, leaving nothing but scorched ruin. Only the most disciplined warriors, space marines, sisters of battle, and their chaos counterparts wield it by hand. Elsewhere, it is mounted upon vehicles. Catachan jungle fighters bear it in flesh and muscle, for their verdant battlefields demand the cleansing touch of flames. Among Terminators, it is a standard instrument of close range eradication. And adding on top of that, not the heavy one, but aggressors have the flame gauntlets, so they get flamers just built into their power fists.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I love all the different flamers. I've never seen this style. Do we know where this one's from? It almost maybe looks like Van Sar, but
that doesn't look like a Space Marines flamer.
No, definitely not. Like it must be like a Necromunda gang.
Oh, maybe.
No, quite possibly.
But I like the way that one's oriented. Very cool. Yeah, you got all types of different flamers. Sister of the Battle flamers are tight too. They go a little more like gothic with it.
Yeah, those old ones are
pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah. Very cool, very cool.
Does get me excited for when I get around to building my Sisters of Battle.
Oh, dude, they're so fun.
Yeah, nice combination of like cloth and metal.
Yeah. Or cloth and nothing if you're painting a lot of Repenter.
True.
Very true.
Listen, I'm going for a very themed army. It's mostly just a bunch of Repentia, and they kind of serve this like fat guy on a throne, and like they kind of love him, and new fan fluff. I'm still working out the kinks of it, you know.
You've pretty much just done my whole homebrew lore right there and then.
Oh god.
Is this really homebrew lore or is this a fantasy?
Bit of both.
The author's thinly veiled fetish revealed in homebrew lore.
It's not a homebrew, it's a fan thing for sure. My god.
But the guy in the throne's a eunuch, so he can't do shit anyway.
That's
We'll
what
try though.
Okay.
Try.
He can just look at the pretty things and watch.
It's getting creepy.
Well, one of them freed some grapes. It's perfect, man.
It's getting worse.
This lore is really coming together. Fuck my Knights of Slaughter idea.
We're just trying to get Caesar into it. That's all.
All right, let's dive into some melta weapons. Fucking love heat guns.
Melta weapons are sanctified instruments of annihilation operating through the violent agitation of matter at the subatomic level until it liquefies, or through a contained fusion reaction driven by a pyrum-promethium fuel blend in certain imperial patterns, unleashed as a focused discharge capable of breaching nearly any substance, its lethality intensifying at close proximity. Though limited in range and deliberate in rate of fire, they are esteemed for their unrivaled effectiveness against armored war engines. They are widely regarded as a disciplined alternative to plasma arms, whose volatility and machine spirit instability may slay the bearer as readily as the foe. Beyond the thunderous hiss of matter flash boiling on impact, the weapon itself speaks softly. For this reason, infiltration units favor melters to neutralize enemy vehicles before battle lines are fully drawn. Many species employ analogous technology within the Imperium. These arms are known as melters, also designated as fusion guns, melters, cookers, or vape guns. Xenos equivalent achieve similar ends through divergent science, yet the Tau and Eldari alike wield such weapons primarily in the execution of armored targets. A melter discharge reduces all it touches to vapor. Living forms vanish in an instant, while hardened materials flare white-hot before erupting into incandescent gas. In confined spaces, this residual wash becomes a lethal atmosphere, scalding the lungs of any who draw breath within it.
Yeah, nice. Just fucking heats up the air so hot you can't even breathe.
I hate it when that happens.
Fuck. There's some days like that in Panama, but it's not that bad. I kind of like it. It's like clears you out a bit, but
It clears you out a bit.
So up first we got the Inferno pistol. And kind of choked that they didn't call it just like a melta pistol. I'm sure lots of people do. Sometimes their naming conventions are like, okay, I know when this was added, or where did this come from? This was added for an Inquisitor at first, so they made it a cool name, such as Inferno pistol, and then eventually got like passed to Astartes, but whatever. Inferno pistols. They are compact melta weapons, products of ancient and highly specialized craftsmanship by artificers. Their secrets all but lost in the Imperium. Each is exceedingly rare, with only a handful extant in any given sector. And their possession marks the bearer as one of authority and consequence. Such weapons are reserved for the elite of the Ordo Hereticus and the Adeptus Astartes, instruments of precision destruction entrusted to those few who command respect and fear. The Blood Angels also maintain a variant known as the Infernus Pistol, sacred relics of the chapter from the Dark Age of technology. Among their ranks, Commander Dante wields the famed Perdition Pistol, a sidearm of ritualized annihilation and enduring legacy. Then we got the Melta Gun, and they are the foundational pattern of melta weaponry, sanctioned for the use of the Imperium's militant arms, including the Imperial Guard, Space Marines, and the Ordo Hereticus and Adeptus Astartes. Their muted discharge and absolutely lethality make them favored by infiltrating forces, tasked with erasing enemy war engines before they can be fully joined. They are known by many names: fusion guns, melters, cookers, each earned through function rather than legend. Melta guns serve as close-range anti-armor instruments designed to unmake steel, ceramite, and flesh alike through concentrated thermal annihilation. At range, few materials can withstand their superheated output, which reduces targets to flowing slag. Beyond warfare, their meltagun is employed as a tool of field engineering, cutting entrances through hardened structures or vaporizing ice or obstructions. Its destructive purity repurposed with cold utilitarian purpose. It's like fucking like long range welding torches.
That's a cool way to think of it.
Yeah, I love the like soundlessness of it too. Like you might hear like the hiss as it like burns the water from the air, but it's basically silent.
Yeah, I never thought of them as silent. That's freaky to think of.
Yeah,
they're kind of quiet in Space Marine too. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, they got like a little thing, but it's not this loud. It's a little hiss.
I suppose the sound would amplify depending on what material the object you were hitting was made out of as well.
Maybe, yeah. Squishy because we're hitting Tyranids.
You'd get lots of like popping sounds and like wet sounds. Fuck.
That's funny. All right. So the multi-melta, which is my answer to a lot of problems, also designated as the vaporized cannon, is a heavy sanctified evolution of the melta gun fitted with multiple melta barrels to amplify destructive output. It is a brutally effective anti-armor instrument, exceeding the range of man-portable melta weapons while remaining shorter reaching than most heavy guns. Accounts describe its discharge as either a blinding lance of light or near invisible torrent of extreme heat. In either case, matter is unmade, flesh is reduced to ash, and vehicles collapse into molten slag. Personal armor offers negligible resistance even as the thickest plating is rendered to boiling liquid. By necessity of mass and power demand, multi-meltas are most commonly mounted on vehicles. Lehman Russ demolishers may carry them on sponsons. Land Raider Crusader may mount them on the hull, and immolators may field twin-linked patterns. They also deployed on land speeders. I miss those so much. Attack bikes, razorbacks, and dreadnoughts. Select power armor forces, most notably Space Marines and the Adeptus Astartes, are capable of operating the multi-melta as a portable weapon, bearing its fuel and power systems into battle. In this configuration, it can liquefy a bunker within moments, incinerating all personnel in proximity through sheer thermal annihilation. Yeah, so I love the Eradicators as a unit, but adding them was such a mistake for everybody else that I play because Raven Guard always gets some way to deep strike something that shouldn't deep strike. So now they just gave me an enhancement that lets me come in a turn earlier too. So now I'm deep striking on my turn 1 a group of Eradicators and just going, pick that guy up.
Yikes! Yeah, remove please.
I've vaporized Canis Rex and some really big Terminators, much to their on turn 1.
Yeah, those things are fucking wild. Those melta rifles or whatever they call them, man. They're long range fucking guns.
Yeah, they're 18-inch, and 2 of them in the squad can have a multi-melta. So basically, you just have 8 melta shots that you just go away, go away, pick that up.
Yeah. My personal favorite is the immolator tank with multi-melters instead of flamers. Just like, oh yes, rolling destruction.
So brutal.
Yeah, very cool.
Gorgeous art.
Let's move on to plasma weapons. Plasma weapons employ the same consecrated principles that drive plasma reactors and void engines. Hydrogen fuel is suspended in a photonic state, secured within a reinforced flask or backpack reliquary, before being fed into a weapon's sanctified microfusion core and elevated into true plasma. This incandescent matter is bound by potent magnetic fields until release, at which point it is hurled down a linear accelerator as a ball of superheated substance, blazing in form and fury like a fragment of a star. Hence the appellation Sutton gun. Upon impact, the caged energies are unleashed in a catastrophic force, annihilating the target through searing thermal shock and violent detonation. Any plasma discharge dwarfs conventional nuclear force, as energized plasma yields devastating orders of magnitude greater than atomic fuel. Despite their apocalyptic power, plasma weapons are regarded within the modern Imperium as near lost relics, vestiges of a more enlightened age. Their inner workings are poorly understood, preserved only by a few sanctioned conclaves of Adeptus Mechanicus. Even among the Adeptus Astartes, such arms are rare. The Dark Angels alone maintain extensive stockpiles and the knowledge to forge replacements. Astartes pattern plasma weapons employ hydrogen at heightened quantum states, driving the weapon beyond standard tolerances. Most examples are centuries or millennia old, while newly forged weapons are crafted singly, each requiring prolonged rites and machine blessings before they may be born to war. Imperial plasma weapons are not without severe limitations. Their immense energies demand restricts sustained use, leading to heavy plasma guns incorporating reduced output firing modes that trade lethality for cadence. Accuracy degrades over extended distances, while the photohydrin core radiates extreme heat, necessitating enforced cooling cycles between shots. The magnetic containment fields are complex and fragile. Failure results in containment collapse and catastrophic meltdown. Plasma fuel flasks typically sustain no more than 10 discharges and cannot be reused, requiring laborious replacement rituals to restore the weapon to readiness.
Fucking plasma guns. The old gets hot. The old unreliable plasma gun. Every time you want it to do something effective, it just blows up in your hands. That's my experience, anyhow.
Back when the plasma cannon was a template, I used to run it in every game. And that was also when you had to do the scatter die to see if it hit anything or not. I think only once did it actually hit what I wanted it to, and everything else was a miss or my own forces.
Yeah. Worth every shot, eh?
Oh, 100%. Didn't mean I wasn't going to stop trying.
Yeah, it looks fucking tight. That guy's going by rule of cool then.
100%.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, whenever there's option to put a plasma weapon on a model, I'll occasionally stick one on in the unit and like just hope that it doesn't fuck me over long term.
What's your guys' favorite like energy color for this? Does it depend like power weapons on the armor or the faction you're playing, or
I do it by faction. So for Chaos I do orange, but for Loyalist I do blue.
Yeah, that seems pretty standard. I like that vibe for sure.
I tend to go with doing it per model sort of thing, because for I can't remember which chapter it is, but they have this thing where they craft their own weapons when they are first initiated, and the weapon is completely personalized to them. So like I kind of liked that vibe and like have it so that like the like each Marine or Chaos Marine's got like their tech priest to do adjustments, so like they know it's their gun from a mile away sort of thing. Like they can tell from like the color who's fighting like with that weapon.
Cool.
Somewhere there's a gamer Space Marine and he's got the RGB plasma.
Just out there somewhere.
He's out there somewhere.
Yeah, very cool.
I think I might try something like that on maybe like a Titan model or something bigger, but like I can't fathom trying to fit a fucking LED in like a normal Space Marine plasma weapon to do it. It'd be doable, but like actually doing it just like blows my mind on how much effort it would be.
I was gonna say if you the Redemptor Dreadnought, it's got a plasma gun. It's about that long.
I feel like it's always weird tossing LEDs onto minis. Like it's almost like, hey, shouldn't you be painting that glow effect? Or like, what are we up to here? So that's just personal hatred, really.
Oh, weird. You don't have skill as an artist, but you have skill as an electrician. Weird.
Exactly. And like I'm an electrician, so it's not that I'm like electrophobic or anything. I'm just like I like to keep my hobbies separate.
You're just sitting there like any idiot can do that. Look at me.
Oh yeah, but can you wire a house? You bitch. Yeah. No.
I can wire it. It does not mean it won't burn down, but I could wire it.
Yeah. I have basic electronic skills. I'm sure I could manage.
Yeah. All right, I know I could not wire up a plasma pistol. That I know for sure, but let's learn about it. The plasma pistol is a compact vessel of searing energy, a smaller yet equally lethal embodiment of the plasma technology. Officers bear it for its capacity to obliterate heavy armored foes with a single controlled discharge. Its scarcity confers status, marking the bearer as worthy of such devastating power. Within Space Marine assault squads, it is deployed to sharpen the edge against armored infantry and the titanic engines of war alike. Plasma guns are two-handed instruments of calibrated annihilation, wielded by the faithful and corrupted alike in disciplined support. Its stubby industrial formed, ribbed spine, flared cooling vents, and exposed hydrogen flasks betrays the terrible power contained within. Each flask fuels 10 purifying discharges. Alternatively, a connected feedline backpack sustains longer executions. The weapon operates in two modes, standard and controlled release, or overcharged. Searing blasts of extended reach and infernal heat, demanding moments to restore equilibrium. Liquid hydrogen is transmuted to plasma within magnetic containment, then expelled through electromagnetic accelerator as the binding bolt of miniature solar flare in both light and flame. Exhaust vents and cooling ducts purge the excess and maintaining its deadly precision. Plasma guns excel at armored infantry and light vehicles, laying waste to Tau battlesuits, Tyranid assault organisms, Orc meganobs, APCs, light tanks with cold industrial efficiency. The comment, damn, ribbed for my pleasure. Yes, sir, it sure is.
And it's super hot, too.
Super hot, man. Ooh. All right, the plasma cannon. The plasma cannon, the titanic extension of the plasma gun, channels the Emperor's fury through immense and disciplined force. Its size and voracious power demands consign it chiefly to vehicles, though Devastator squads of Space Marines bear the rare ceremony. The weapon hurls superheated plasma bolts which erupt on contact, igniting matter into spheres in searing nuclear energy. Small suns of annihilation. For this reason, is whispered among warriors as the Sun Gun, a name earned in fire and death. Yeah, very cool weapon, man. Like we were saying, that plasma cannon, another great silhouette of a gun where it just looks dangerous, man.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, let's pull up a better picture here. Yeah, there you go. When the gun is literally as tall as you are, as thick as you are, and like fucking tight.
I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to unleash the sun on you.
Now,
I'm going to light up your life.
Let's see if I can piss you off with this. Everyone always complains about the plasma gun barrel size on this, because apparently it should be no smaller than like a real life pin hole to press the superheated fuels and compress them out.
One, they're wrong. Two, it's shooting a giant plasma ball like this big around, so I don't care what they have to say.
If it was a railgun, the argument would be valid, but it's not. It's a plasma cannon.
Yeah, it fires a giant chunk of plasma.
All right.
It might start small, but what happens with heat? Heat expands, okay? And when the heat expands, you need a barrel big enough to push that bad boy out there.
God damn, I'm sorry I mentioned it.
Yeah.
Fucking
You're
Reddit really
nerves here, dude.
on this one.
Stepped
All right, I'll stay off the internet, boys. I won't get too crazy anymore, too loose with my theories.
He's posting stuff on Reddit trying to get people to agree with him. Like, I was watching Warhammer, and I think Mark is really smart.
He's really smart. You should donate to his Patreon.
Yeah, 100%. Then you can see how smart he is live.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
we are doing that anyway, but you know, we've got to lure them in somehow.
Oh, that's funny. All right, let's talk about another type of weapon. Let's talk about graviton weapons. Graviton weapons are venerated. I'm going to mess that up. Venerated relic arms of immense antiquity. Their origins traced to the dark age of technology, and their true principles understood by few within the Imperium. Even during the Great Crusade, their construction was rare, their mechanisms reflecting a level of mastery now largely lost. Such devices are especially valued in Void War and null gravity environments, where their authority over mass and momentum becomes absolute. At maximum output, a graviton gun exerts a crushing force enough to rupture organs and shatter bones, even through armored plate. Yet, its doctrinal role is not outright annihilation, but methodical suppression of enemy movements and the crippling of war machines through controlled gravitational domination. The first variant we have is the Grav Pistol. An Astartes gravity pistol is a compact relic of mass manipulation technology, sanctified to bend the laws of weight and force at the warrior's command. With a single discharge, it crushes foes beneath its sudden, localized gravity wells, collapsing armor, bone, and with cold inevitability. Issued sparingly, it is a weapon of control and execution, used to pin, break, erase the priority of targets within close range with brutal precision. And I think the only model that just comes with one inherently right now is the Terminator. Not the Terminator, Tech Marine. The Tech Marine has one. Really?
They didn't quite make it to the Primaris side fully, eh?
No, I think they're molded on the Sternguard veterans occasionally, but I'm 90% sure the only one that for sure comes with the gravity pistol is the Tech Marine now.
Yeah, they do make combi grav weapons, so yeah, maybe those Sternguard veterans have that. But that's interesting. Yeah, like it was it seemed like it came out. I did check, it came out on 6th edition, so we didn't have it for the longest time, and then it's interesting that it's kind of not fully making it.
I know from like a novel perspective, like grav weapons are very, very unheard of. Like between like Space Marines and stuff like that, the only real mention of grav weapons that I've recently had is War of the Beast, when one of the orcs uses it against Vulcan and slams him against the wall a few times.
That's cool.
I think Devastators and Centurion Devastators are the only ones that have them.
Yeah. They got the big old gravity cannons.
Yeah. We haven't gotten there yet, but yeah.
Actually, Assault Centurions also have them. They have some type. Maybe not the assault ones, but the shooting ones. They have grav cannons.
Yeah, the Centurion Devastators.
Yeah.
Grav guns. Graviton guns are rare and arcane instruments of mass and force, relics of the dark age of technology, now jealously guarded by Adeptus Mechanicus. Medium-sized and disciplined in construction, they manipulate the fabric of gravity itself, bending the weight of matter with terrifying precision. Only a handful of Space Marine chapters are permitted to bear them in war, their presence marking the battlefield with awe and dread. Originally forged for non-military application in low-gravity environments, the weapon fires concentrated gravitic particles to increase or diminish the weight of its target. The pulse resonates through the air with a bass rumble, an instrument hymn of shifting mass. At lower settings, foes are slowed or immobilized. At higher outputs, organs rupture and bones fracture even through the stoutest armor. Graviton guns are indispensable in void combat aboard starships or within null gravity theaters, and they serve with equal ruthlessness in siege and demolition. Fortifications crumble beneath their influence, the mass of stone and steel turned against itself. In the hands of the Adeptus Astartes, these weapons are both scalpel and hammer, precise yet absolute in their execution. A grav cannon. The graviton cannon is a massive instrument of gravitic projection, designed to impose absolute force upon flesh and machine alike. Its power renders organs and shatters bones, even through armor. Yet in its principal purpose is the precision neutralization of enemy engines without triggering secondary destruction. Devastators wield it upon rapiers and centurions, while the Adeptus Mechanicus deploy heavier variants capable of cleaving even the mightiest obliterators in twain with a single inexorable discharge.
Yeah, very cool. So this gun, you can kind of like pick people up with them and slam them. We've said how does it work?
So my understanding of the principle is the energy from the gun neutralizes the effect of gravity on the object itself, making it completely weightless. At that point, realistically, if gravity is not affecting anything on the object, all it takes is a little tap and it will fly off in any direction.
Oh, that's one way to think of it.
That's cool.
There's different factions that deploy similar weaponry. The Necrons use it as towing between ships as well as an attack force, so they can fire their. It's a thing in the recent book, actually. So they fire the graviton whips onto another one of their Necron ships, grab it and draw it back in, because every time, like the Pharaohs said, like, hold the line, and a barge of destroyers is like, no, we want to go destroy things, and he's like, no, come back, and he keeps like pulling it back in line, like every time it like tries to disappear. In the War of the Beast, the orcs use it to create their attack moons, and as I mentioned, use it as a weapon against Vulcan. It's actually the gun they're using to create the attack moons. When Vulcan goes to destroy it, they turn it around on Vulcan, slam him against the wall, and throw him about. And for a while, it disorientates him, and then he realizes that whilst it's affecting him, it's technically completely weightless, so he can project himself across the room. Hammer first, as usual.
Yeah.
The Drukhari they don't use it as a projectile weapon per se, but they use it for their ship docking in the webway.
Okay, that makes sense.
So they have like a anti-gravitic field around camera that holds the ships in suspense, and then if they need to dock them lower down, they use gravitic tractor beams to pull the ship down a little bit. which in one of the books, the orcs turn it against them to steal a ship.
Yeah, what technology that is. And then at the same time, you got people running around with chain swords.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing when you think about it, that even though all these factions have all these miraculous weapons, they all seem to want to go back to swords and fists.
Oh man, you just
and I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Yeah, you just can't beat it. Yeah. I like the old school graviton guns a little better than the new design, like the Heresy era. They look way more exotic and what the fuck kind of thing is that? Where, yeah, the new ones look kind of crisp.
I'm going to disagree. I like the new ones because they look like what I think a graviton gun would look like. The old ones look like 1960s ray guns.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say it kind of looks like the Call of Duty ray gun from Zombies.
Yeah, now that you've said that, you're definitely kind of right. That's
Right,
why
make
it's been
the back a little more rounded, and it would be the ray gun from Call of Duty.
Or maybe you just smush it. Even you just smush it
Yeah,
together,
maybe.
just like it.
I am kind of. I know a lot of people are not looking forward to 11th edition, but one of the rumors I've heard is they're implementing rules so you can play your Horus Heresy models to an extent in 40k, which is going to be really exciting to say. I've got those Saturnine Dreadnoughts.
We already can. It's just legend rules.
Yeah, they're incorporating like an extra thing in that, so there's like a potentially a limitation that they would actually be in game properly instead of with legend rules.
Maybe. I know. I did see that in the whatever, I forgot what, the 500 Worlds thing, they're going to give the rules to build custom characters again. So you can have like a chaplain on a bike and stuff.
Oh, there's going to be some fucking cheesy models running around. I love it.
The cheese is coming, and I am ready for it.
Character.
I'll let you know on that one, seeing as I've recently just picked it up.
Oh, there you go.
Nice. I like it. All right, let's jump to...
I was trying to get the special edition one, but like it was double the price for the exact same information, and the only difference was it looks prettier.
The chat wants female Space Marines with custom rules. All right. What you ask for, you shall receive, and don't come crying to me when you wish you were surrounded by men, but everywhere you look, it's just women. And let's jump into the laser weapons. Las weapons, also known as laser arms, are the blessed light casters of the Imperium, encompassing all Imperial and select Xenos devices that wield focused beams of coherent energy. Imperial las technology is deliberately austere, its sacred simplicity allowing manufacture upon countless forges in civilized worlds alike. Cheap to sanctify, easy to appease, and renowned for unwavering dependability, las weapons form the backbone of Imperial firepower. They are born in untold millions by the Adeptus Astartes. As the humble lasgun, a pattern so widespread it may have been found nearly on every world under the Imperial's rule. Each las weapon releases a tightly bound, high-energy lance of light that scorches the target upon impact, inducing an instant and violent thermal shift that vaporizes matter in a brief explosive discharge. The beam endures only for a fraction of a second and is not affected by gravity, manifesting as a blind flash and sharp cracking rapport as the surrounding air is ionized. Power for each discharge is drawn from rapid cycle generator occupying the majority of the weapon's frame, carefully regulating output to ensure stability, longevity, and doctrinal reliability. Some critics contend that the las weapons lack the consistency of solid projectile arms, citing fluctuations in output between successive shots. Rechargeable power packs supply the generator, typically built around dense liquid metal cores, their size and capacity varying on the battlefield role. Compact internal cells used by lasguns and pistols commonly sustain 40 shots, while massive crate-sized packs feeding lascannons must be replaced after each discharge to preserve optimal output. Overcharged variants known as hotshot packs deliver greater lethality at the cost of reduced capacity, increasing barrel strain and difficulty recharging rates. A long-standing guardsman practice condemned by unorthodox tech adepts places depleted packs near open flames to coax the few extra shots, risking machine spirit displeasure and internal damage. Most Imperial worlds craft their own las patterns from available materials, each bearing distinctive traits such as solar recharging systems or varied optical augments. These designs range from finely wrought dueling pistols to brutally utilitarian service arms. When tuned to a blue-green frequency, las weapons may even function beneath the water's surface. Oh, that's interesting. Certain rare and specialized heavy las weapons rely upon pristina crystals during manufacture. These crimson glowing cores are constantly fiercely coveted and highly prized commodities in the Imperium's shadow markets.
That's cool about the water part.
Yeah. And changing the light changes maybe what effects it has. each one's going to explode you at the end of the day, I guess. But yeah, you might be able to shoot through some different things.
I like the heat consistency explains for why, because I'm going to talk about lascannons, why lascannons can hit you for 3 damage or they can hit you for 8 damage.
It's shot too many times, only 3.
Shot too many times. All right. And when I roll, it's going to hit for 3, no matter what. The lascannon, a scaled apex of las technology, is a weapon of devastating precision capable of piercing the strongest armor and annihilating the most formidable foes. Its slow recharge renders it ill-suited to expendable targets, yet against war engines it is unrivaled. Space Marines wield them upon shoulders, while Imperial Guard crews mount them upon tripods, tanks, and vehicles alike. Each discharge a pure channeling of disciplined energy. Forged for reliability rather than improvision, lascannons are favored by commanders who value assured execution above all else. Twin-linked or sponson-mounted, they augment armored vehicles, ensuring every strike renders steel and disrupts enemy formations. If I could get a lascannon to hit more than 4 on a tank, I would be so happy.
It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Infantry,
Don't
8
even
damage
think about
all
it.
day. Tank,
Yeah.
No.
4.
Yeah. That Imperial Guardsman is very dead. That tank, not so much.
Overkill on the guardsman, under fire on the tank.
Yeah, the tank dies to bolter fire later. Watch.
That's how it's got to be. Let's talk about exotic weapons. Beyond standard arsenals, the Adeptus Astartes also deploy a desperate class of exotic weapons, devices born of rare lore, specialized need, or individual innovation. Tech Marines wield arms such as the convention beamer, a weapon that warps energy across distance to unmake matter with cold, escalating force, while other tools abandon lethality altogether. Weber's grab nets, stasis emitters, and similar restraint weapons are employed to immobilize priority targets intact, denying movement rather than life when capture or interrogation is required. This least formal category also encompasses digital weapons, miniaturized relic arms mounted upon gauntlets or armor, capable of delivering precise, often unexpected effects at close range. Collectively, these weapons reflect the adaptability of the Astartes, tools chosen not for uniform doctrine but singular purpose, battlefield necessity, and the judgment of the warrior who bears them.
Yeah, cool. Exotic weapons. There's all types of exotic weapons. I got pulled up here. This old, man, what was these guys called again? But this conversion beamer, he's got this shoulder and some dual whips. These are very exotic weapons for sure. I forget what this guy's from, but yeah, very cool. So let's start with the conversion beamer. The conversion beamer projects a searing beam of energy that transmutes matter into raw force, annihilating all it touches. Dense armor fortifications or vehicles are shattered as their substance is ripped apart. The greater the mass, the greater the discharge, making the weapon a tool of absolute obliteration. Its intensity grows along its path, consuming atmosphere and reaching a point of critical release, unleashing a violent detonation of pure energy. The knowledge to sustain such powers is nearly lost, dangerous even in expert hands. During the Great Crusade, the Horus Heresy, the First Legion alone to field them in mass, striking down the most formidable adversaries with industrial precision. Smaller variants were once carried by tech marines to breach hulls, but such practices are now obsolete. The weapon's immense capacitors demand immobility. Any motion dissipates the beam's potency. Modern deployment practice places it upon self-propelled carriages or anti-gravity platforms, often operated remotely, while handheld versions require stabilizing claws and specialized footing. The brief energy buildup allows only a second to strike, a fraction of which targets may evade. Yet in the hands of the Adeptus Astartes, it remains a cold instrument of annihilation.
I don't think there's a lot of examples of this in modern 40k anymore.
No, I don't think it made it.
I think the AdMech have them.
That's true. Yeah, their crawler guys have it, but like the Primaris range definitely didn't make it. It was a bizarre weapon in the first place because the only actual model we had is this guy here, where it's shoulder mounted, and it's a special hero character. It's not like your standard tech marine. So yeah, it was a weird thing to get a hold of. Back in the day, yeah, it was funny. They would just release rules for stuff that didn't even have fucking models, and you would get to figure out how to make that.
Now they release models with no rules, and you have to wait for the rules.
Oh, goddamn. And then they release the rules, and you don't want them, and then you just have to wait for the next edition.
True. All right.
Yeah, conversion beamers are cool. Like, there's no real standard. Like, I've seen plenty of people mount them, like how you'd hold like a heavy bolter, that kind of underslung pose. But also,
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, a couple different ways.
I like them on the Dreadnought. That's the hottest look of them, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Let's talk about some digital weapons. Digital weapons, or digi-weapons, are miniature instruments of precision lethality, often concealed within rings or other ornaments of personal adornment. So the Ring of Power. Despite their size, they unleash the full destructive power of las pistols, hell pistols, needle pistols, hand flamers, or inferno pistols. Each discharge is singular, a carefully measured strike, and reloading is arduous, requiring expertise beyond ordinary skill. These weapons are employed in close combat, granting the wielder sudden lethal advantage against exposed targets. Their manufacture lies beyond the grasp of the Imperium. Only the Jacaro, I knew you'd give this me. I hated that. The Jacaro can forge the most compact variants, rendering digital weapons extraordinarily rare. Ownership is restricted to the influential and the elite. Inquisitors, rogue traders, and select space marines perceive them as instruments of precise, sanctioned violence. They exist as cold, instrumental tools of discretion, deadly intent, deployed only when subtlety and lethality must also exist. Oh, that's no fun, the pointing thing. I thought it was like you could just walk up and put your hand on somebody's head and just go, goodbye, and then just a melta blast removes their head. I don't want to point at people. I just want to go, oh.
Yeah. What about a flick of the hand, like the backhand, and then that explodes people?
That would be so funny to freak people out. Just, you know what? Boom! And the head just explodes.
I like it.
It'd be an interesting way to go, I suppose.
It's one way to go.
Grenades and mines. What were you going to say?
Yeah, the next three little categories, they almost deserve their own episode, or maybe an episode altogether. Grenades and mines, there's not quite enough there for an episode, but there's plenty of grenades and stuff. So I don't know how these ones are going to be fully shared, but just know there's a lot more to these categories, but we'll just kind of share what they're vaguely about.
So, grenades and mines. Astartes grenades are not mere auxiliary weapons, but disciplined tools of battlefield control and annihilation, carried to extend the killing capacity of space marines beyond just the bolter. Frag and crack grenades serve as foundational rites of destruction, one scouring inventory with shrapnel, the other focused to breach armor and bunkers with surgical violence, while more specialized devices such as cluster mines, melta bombs, and remote chargers transform terrain into a weapon itself. Employed with transhuman precision, these munitions deny ground, shatter breakthroughs, and erase hardened targets, ensuring that no advance, no shelter, and no war engine is truly safe from the Emperor's wrath.
Yeah, very cool. Just like bolters, there's pretty much a grenade for anything. I have on the screen just a list of different grenade types. A lot of them are like Death Watchy or Inquisitorial.
So wacky and strange.
Yeah, or they're Primaris grenades, so I didn't really want to cover them yet. But still a lot of different type of grenades. Psych out grenades, very cool, man. You throw them at psychers and then they freak the fuck out.
With it saying orb, I don't know what that is, but I would. In my head, it's just like a glass orb that you just throw at someone's floor and it shatters and like poison or some shit comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Leaper mines, cryo grenade. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, a nice xenofilament grenade that just explodes and you don't see the monomolecular filament. It just like people just get shredded. And you don't know why, and then you're walking forward and then you step on the filament and you get shredded. Good stuff. There's also fire support. Astartes fire support is the cold, methodical hammer that follows the initial strike, anchoring the battlefield in disciplined devastation. Tracked thunderfire cannons and their Crusade-era predecessors, the rapier platforms, deliver relentless artillery fire, shattering infantry formations and pinning advances with seismic force. Tarantula turrets extend this dominance, standing sentinel as automated engines of denial, while armed drop pods descend as altars as weapons in their own right, unleashing close-range fire the moment they strike the ground. Together, these systems ensure that once the Adeptus Astartes commit to a war zone, the enemy is not merely engaged, but systematically erased under sustained industrial firepower. I do fucking love the idea of drop pod turrets where you just start shooting fucking fortifications and drop pods down at the planet that have just guns on them.
The Hammerfall bunker, I think, is kind of what you're thinking of right now.
Yeah.
It's a terrain thing, so it doesn't have a way to come in because of the way terrain and stuff rules work. But the way the new detachment, I don't know if it came out yet or it might have with the 500 rules book, but there's a way you can give different things deep strike even if they don't have it. So I was like, so what I'm hearing is I can actually deep strike the Hammerfall bunker like God intended. Just boom, boom, burn.
Yeah, you need to be able to deep strike that. That's the whole vibe of that.
Well, that's what it is. In the lore, that's what it is. They drop it from orbit, and then it just turns on. It's like, okay, now I'm here.
Yeah. They do have, like, the standard drop pod with weapon systems built in. I forget what it's called.
The one with all the missiles inside of it?
Yeah. Where they take the seats, and then it becomes a gun one.
It's a usable thing in Dawn of War 3. It's just like...
Yeah, like here's a good example of it. Fucking 4 assault cannons on it, kind of pointing in every direction.
That's cool.
Very cool. Yeah, and then that thing would just have like fucking infinite ammo, I'm sure, where you drop it. It's just unloading ammo until it explodes. But there's not much to it. Like, it probably doesn't need a whole bunch to like remain. Those turrets, you'd have to take them out specifically. You blow off those top fins, it's still going to be operational.
Yeah,
that's true.
Cool. And the last category we got, the vehicle-mounted weapons.
Yeah, so vehicle-mounted weapons form the armored voice of the Adeptus Astartes, turning their war machines into mobile shrines of firepower, from pintle-mounted storm bolters that rake advancing infantry to sponson-mounted lascannons that punch clean through enemy armor. Every system is designed to complement relentless forward momentum. Heavy bolters, multi-meltas, assault cannons, missile launchers, and siege weapons are integrated into hulls and turrets with ruthless efficiency, allowing Space Marine vehicles to suppress, breach, and annihilate while on the move. Together, these weapons ensure that an Astartes advance is never silent, never unguarded, and never denied its path through steel, flesh, and fire. Yeah, that's the most accurate tank they make, and that's an official GW model, and I'll take no questions.
Yep.
It's official.
Pretty much new, yeah.
Anyone who says otherwise is just wrong.
Yeah, anyone who says otherwise will hit them with that tank, that brick of guns.
That brick of guns.
Yeah, man. Those new Primaris tanks, that's how it feels, though. They're crazy. They're just loaded to the top with rockets, guns, every which spot.
I'm glad they did this because they condensed all the data sheets on it, because it used to be each gun was its own data sheet. So the regular repulsor had lascannons, las talon, storm bolter, havoc missiles, missile launcher, or storm. So you had to go through the list of all the things you had to shoot, and it was a nightmare. But then they reduced it to Like the lascannons, it's the lascannons, the turret, and then all the other small weapons are just one profile now.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably a better way to do it than rolling
so
it
much
all
better.
out. Yeah.
I think that was part of their reasoning behind condensing the multi-bolters and stuff like that. Since they having like a different weapon profile for each one, you've now just got it's either multi-bolter or like multi with the variant, and all the variants are all the same profile.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, very cool. All types of different weapons. We'll definitely do a tank episode. I know people have been asking for that, even for other factions, not just Astartes. Yeah, I'm just contemplating how I break that down. There's a lot of fucking Astartes tanks, and what's cool too with like those Imperial armor books, they have all the different like specs where it's like, okay, we actually know how thick Land Raider armor is. We know how fast it goes. Did you know it can go like 40 meters underwater and still be fine? We know these little. Yeah, we know these little details. So I'm just thinking how to actually break them down into categories. Maybe it's like transports and assault vehicle. I don't know, whatever. We'll get there when we get there.
I think my favorite thing about the Land Raider is that the guy that it's named after hates the fact that it's named after him. Like in the books, he despises that it got called the Land Raider.
They should have called it the Arkan Raider.
True.
Well, true. He had like I think he had like a different name intended for like the pattern, and like no, you found it. We're naming it after you. Like,
I love that.
Really.
Yeah. That's fun. Well, I don't know. What was your guys' favorite gun? Like, if you get one gun in 40K, what are you reaching for?
Plasma pistol. If you're just going small arms, I'm going for a plasma pistol.
So you like living, but there's a tiny touch of depression in you. Is kind of the vibe.
I mean,
like you're like,
it's 2026.
If it gets hot, it gets hot. Yeah.
2026. Who doesn't live like that?
Who doesn't live like that? Okay, sign me up for the plasma pistol too. Sign me up.
I think for me, it's like stuff like the Hades Hell Cannon and stuff like that. With the big double barrel, heavy ammo, rip everything in front of it sort of mentality.
Sure. Yeah. I like the assault cannon for that regard, where you're just like, it just fires so many bullets, it just rends and rips and tears. Very cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the bolter still, the holy bolter. I'm a basic kind of bitch, so I'll just go with the classic. You know, I like a little versatility every now and again. Give me a different bolt shell, but yeah, man, bolters are tight. Alrighty. Well, that's another episode of Lorehammer. The Astartes Armoury, they got all types of war gear, and man, this is just Firstborn war gear. I don't know if I said that at the start of this, but this is just Firstborn. So, you know, there's always going to be more of these. I think we're going to jump next to another Primarch episode. There might be one more Astartes Armoury, but then I think we're jumping to the Ultramarines. So, going to be cool. I've always kind of enjoyed the Ultramarines for what they were. They're just like an easy to understand thing, you know, got a great vibe, whatever. They're nobody's favorite, and if there are, they're lying to you. There's always something more interesting out there, but they're cool.
There's a guy at my store who is a diehard Ultramarines fan, unironically.
You know, they, I guess, exist. It's a real thing, I suppose, but it's not a way to live. You don't want to live that way.
It's not a way to live.
No.
True.
I always find it kind of funny that, like, everyone I know is like dedicated to like all these different factions, and the one guy I know that's dedicated to like diehard Tyranids is so unsociable. It's crazy. Like,
fight and stuff.
Like, I'd actually expect it if I'm honest. Like, he'll just like rush past you and then like double back and be like hi, and then run off again. And I'm like, okay,
it's because you're not part of his hive mind.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm not part of his hive, so like he's confused on how to communicate with me. Maybe
He clicked when he walked past you, but you didn't hear it.
Maybe it's pheromonal too. You ever try spraying something different on you, or
maybe I'll try that at work next week.
yeah. Okay. Let us know how it goes.
It's like just watching a ripper just run past you. Though you're like, okay,
snagging models off the table and eating them. Fuck.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Well, that's another episode. Let's do the show shoutouts. Come check out Lorehammer Listener Lore podcast. I always get more emails. You can email them in if you send me a 100-page document. I will mock you and I might read it. So let's see how big. I wonder what the biggest document I've ever been sent. It fucking is probably damn near 100 pages, but let's make that the goal.
It's a good goal.
Yeah.
And if you want to see me and think I'm funny, come check me out on my YouTube channel, Hydra Thoughts. I talk about cryptids, conspiracies, and mysteries. Just did a video about sleep paralysis demons, and a lot of people have been sharing their stories. So it's pretty cool. Come check it out.
Yeah, that was a great episode. I think
you.
that's just one of those like super relatable, like you said. Lots of people have experienced it, and whatever it is, whether it's your body waking up or something more nefarious, fuck, it's creepy when it happens.
Yeah, my bunch of family members have been reaching out like, "Oh my gosh, I had this." I'm like, "Oh, well, thanks for helping me through mine." You know, no.
So you got demons in your butt. That's the problem. And there's only one way to get demons out of your butt. I got to go in there and get them.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
No, they can stay. It's fine.
Guy tries to help, but if you don't want my help, I won't force you.
I've seen what electricians do. I don't need that anywhere near me.
Yeah.
There needs to be a wire in this wall. Let's bust it open.
Yeah. I can't get to it. Sorry. And then you're not going to put anything back. You're going to be like, that's a drywaller's job, and just leave me laying there.
Yeah. I could see you extracting everything and then going, I'm not a plastic surgeon. I'm not putting you back together.
My job's done.
Hope you can heal.
Luke Call, do you want to shout out anything? I know you have kind of a YouTube channel or some stuff that you're up to.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch as Lupercal TV. I'm mainly on Twitch doing different 40k things and playing games and stuff like that. So if you want to talk some nonsense about 40k, you're more than welcome to join me.
Yeah, nice. All right, well, that's that. We will wrap her up, and we'll see you all on the next episode. Have a good one.
Peace.
Bye.